ends with these four best friends. The fun never ends with the boys.
With the boys, yeah. Hello, this is WIUX LP Bloomington, and you're listening to the Boys Cold One Hour. I'm Clay.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Sergey.
And we're so happy you're here with us on our first episode of Season 5.
Yes, very exciting.
For new listeners, we've been doing this show this is our fifth semester doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it for 2 complete years. We're excited for our third.
It's what, our 46th episode? We were
46th
just talking about
episode,
earlier,
yeah.
so...
We just found out. So stay tuned for our 50th episode in a little bit. But before that, you know.
4 episodes from now.
You never know. It could be... Yeah.
But let's do our tradition.
We have a little tradition, and that is to play a theme song for you.
But first,
there's
there's something you need to do.
Something you need to do. You need to straighten up your microphone, screw it all in, and then... Oh, well.
I want you to say it.
Oh, Jesus, awkward. We haven't been on air for so long. We're talking over each other. I guess we must be getting different cue cards because I'm not seeing the interruptions. But you sit back, relax, reach into your refrigerator.
There it is.
Grab a cold one, icy cold, misty fresh. Pull it out. Pop it.
There we go.
Ooh, that sounds good. That's a good one. Who are those boys on the radio? They've got some cold ones and their own show. So open up your ears, listen to us. Forget your fears, there's no need to fuss. Cause the fun never ends with these 4 best friends. The fun never ends with the boys. With the boys, yeah.
Man, it is good to be back.
It is good.
It's
really
good.
It's been too long.
And thank you guys for coming back to listen. And thank you to the new listeners.
To the new listeners, yes.
We are the Boys Colon Hour.
We are the Boys Cold One Hour,
Oh,
as you know.
And if you are new to us, you should follow us.
Yes.
If you want to.
If you want to.
Sorry, my bad.
If you're so
You
impelled.
can follow us on Twitter.
And Facebook.
And Facebook and Instagram.
And Instagram.
And Venmo.
Here, I'll read them off.
not,
So,
not Venmo yet. We're getting our Venmo sorted out so you can donate directly towards
Our
us.
Patreon.
Our Patreon. Get it. Come on. Jeez.
So
Everyone's
on
a critic
Facebook,
here.
we're just the Boys Cold 1 Hour. Twitter, it's at Boys Cold 1 Hour. And on Instagram, we're at Cold 1 Boys.
Right, exactly.
So if you'd like to follow those, there you go.
And our Reddit subreddit is finally up. We only have 2 members so far, but if you want to no, get out.
Wait, maybe we should
No.
make that.
We could make that,
Wait,
actually, yeah.
we could talk about boys comment or Cold One comments with the boys in the thread.
With the boys and the girls. Yes.
Open a Discord.
Oh yeah, our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, which we're on pretty much all the time since we don't go to class anymore. We're seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Shoot
seen
the
the economy.
breeze.
It looks grim, so we're just gonna, take this last year in stride and not go to class. No kidding. But speaking of traditions, which I was not speaking of. Here's another tradition. Jonathan, do you want to introduce this next tradition?
Yeah, so for our new listeners, this is a tradition that we do every week. It's the Boy Wonder and the Boy
Blunder.
So the Boy Wonder is the boy who did something really wonderful, really great, really fantastic this week, someone that we all adore. The Boy Blunder, on the other hand, is the exact opposite, someone who really goofed up this week.
Oh yeah.
Did some,
Some
harebrained scheme.
reprehensible things.
Yeah, some awful things. Not always that bad, but something kind of
Usually pretty terrible.
Something
pretty
kind of
close.
goofy and not a good kind of goofy. Okay. So,
Yes.
If you know what I'm saying.
No, yeah, we know what you're saying.
So do we want to get into the Boy
Yes.
Wonder first?
Yes. So the Boy Wonder for the first show of the 5th season is
Sergey Waxman. Oh, thank you guys.
Congratulations. So, what did he do to deserve such an honor?
Clay, do you want to?
Oh
go for
yes,
it?
yes.
Because he helped you out.
He did help me out. So Sergey helped me out in a major way. So basically, I've been sort of slumming it. I've been sleeping on a mattress on the floor for 2 years. I know it's. I didn't feel like there was anything wrong with it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you do get roasted a lot. Like there's a lot of tweets roasting people who have mattresses on the floors. It's fun.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
Easy.
It's not the best look. It's
Yeah.
cheap and easy though.
Yeah.
But finally, I was so jealous because Billy redecorated his room and Sergey redecorated his room.
True.
And I was like, I want to redecorate my room. obviously most of you have not been to my room, but it's wood paneled. It's kind of like a cabin. It's really neat. But there's this little nook off to the corner, and what I wanted to do was put my bed in the corner. However, I couldn't because my bed doesn't have a bed frame, and I would cover up an essential heating duct in the house, and that's a fire safety violation, I'm sure. So I got a bed frame, and while I was putting it together in my room, I was, using some elbow grease. I felt like a craftsman. Sergey comes in, super happy and ready to help me out, and he helps me out in a huge way. He puts like a big part of it together, him as well as one of our friends, Dan, so that the construction project is finished in no time. We set up the bed in the corner, and everything looks amazing. I'm so happy with my new room, and a big portion of that is thanks to Sergey. So thank you, Sergey.
Oh, hey, I just saw that you were putting up a bed, and I was like, oh, a new sleeping spot for me.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a very nice spot.
It is very cozy.
No, I actually really thought about it. I didn't end up sleeping there.
Yeah,
but
so my new bed is
so cozy.
My bed
It
went
really
from kind of
is.
like the struggle on the floor to now being kind of cozy in this little corner.
Very
Yeah.
cozy.
So
Now it really-
might be the new nap spot.
When you're looking up, it really feels like you're sleeping in a cabin, actually.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's such a cozy spot.
So it's the new nap
Very
spot. But
nice.
yes, thank you so much,
yeah.
Sergey, for your help.
Oh, thank you.
Now
We got some.
to something that never gets any easier.
Oh,
Announcing the boy
gosh,
The
blunder.
boy blunder.
All right, I guess I'll announce it this week. This week, the boy blunder is
Jonathan Falk.
Another tradition.
Another tradition.
Speaking of traditions.
Another tradition of Jonathan being. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not.
But Billy, what did he do to deserve the boy blunder?
Yeah, so I'll get into a little bit of this. So as you know, we are all part of WIUX. That is the station that you're listening to at the moment. And we're kind of WIUX experts at this time.
Yeah,
right?
WIU experts.
Except for when it comes to saying it.
Yes.
We know the training inside out. We
know what kind
But
of sandwiches
saying
not to talk about eating. Sometimes it's ham, sometimes it's tuna,
Yeah, we know how to fill out these applications.
Oh, we filled out so many of these applications because for years our show would get denied every year.
No, that's not
No,
true.
no.
We know how to get to the studio after we watch that video of them walking around the
Yes,
hall.
there's a really good
They're really
video.
cool
a really
video.
cool video they
But-
made.
So Clay and I, we filled out our applications,
Yes, together.
very promptly. Jonathan was unavailable, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just do it later." Unfortunately, he waited so last minute that the application page on Canvas was closed. No, it wasn't a mistake.
In my defense, they closed it earlier than they meant to, so
They-
it was not my fault exactly.
It wasn't your fault.
I was still like 2 or 3 days before the deadline when I filled it out, or when I tried to fill it
You
out.
were
Weren't you like a day
You were one
before?
day before the deadline.
think-
Sorry.
No, I think it was Friday, and then it was Sunday that it was closing. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. So, all right,
I'm
okay.
kidding, I'm
Jeez.
kidding.
Come
So
on.
yeah, basically the point is, we like to be on top of things here. We like to be
The show's
prompt.
important to us, so we're willing to set aside some time to make it happen.
And honestly, it wouldn't have been that bad. But then, everyone in WIUX has to be on a committee.
Yes.
And
we're members of the art committee. We took a brief hiatus last semester,
Mhm.
but we're back where
They
we
kicked us
belong.
off.
They
Yeah,
did
they
kick
did
us
kick
out.
us off. Yeah, literally.
They did kick us out, but we're finally, and after it's Surf Rock Sunday too.
yeah.
No, but now we're back where we belong in the art committee.
But unfortunately, me and Clay, we went to it, and Jonathan had a previous engagement.
Yes, a previous encounter.
And he was not able to
third time.
attend, so he missed his first committee meeting.
Yes.
So those
Yeah.
two combined kind of made him easy.
Well, okay,
pickings
let's
for the
just
blunder.
say it. Jonathan dropped the ball this week.
Yeah, but it's okay though.
Okay.
I mean,
In these these 2 areas, I did drop the ball. Okay.
Oh,
But
sometimes
hey,
that's very mature of you.
yeah,
But
thank
hey,
you.
everything turned out just fine.
It did.
I'm on the committee. I'm on the show. So
Yeah. I mean,
we were gonna
it-
tell
all
you-
right.
we were
Well,
gonna
that
tell you-
brings us to our new
Okay,
special
really?
announcement. We decided to save it for the show. Jonathan.
You're off the show.
Kidding,
I'm
kidding,
literally
kidding.
officially on the show. So
No, we're kidding. Come
We're
on, no,
joking.
but yeah.
you're gonna have
Well, I'm
to.
glad it worked out and that you're here now.
You're gonna have to force me out of here.
We would never do that.
Oh goodness.
But the topic of
That would be so sad. Oh my goodness.
Speaking of forcing Jonathan out, the topic of this week is movies.
Yes.
Ooh.
We all had some fun summers. We're gonna go over them briefly in case you guys care, and then we'll begin to dive into some movies that we've seen this summer,
Movies we've seen recently.
movies we've seen together. Just do a bit of movie chat. I know you might have heard of
Film buffs.
Ebert and Roper go to the movie theater, those famous
Yeah.
critics. But now you're hearing the boys Colon Hour.
Oh.
Just rag on our favorite movies, which will be fun. And then we have a movie, almost said movie flavored, movie centered segment,
It's gonna be
game
very
segment
exciting.
later. That's gonna be really fun. But first, we have to take a brief musical break, and we'll get right back to you.
Yes. Don't go away.
Don't go away.
WIUX LP Bloomington. Bunger and Robertson wants us to know that while hard work and fun go hand in hand this back-to-school season, texting and driving never mix. Research shows you're 4 times as likely to get into an accident when you text while driving. Bunger and Robertson knows that no text message is worth risking a tragedy. Texting and driving, it can wait. This important community reminder has been made possible by Bunger and Robertson, on the air because they care.
And we're back. That was Killing Me Softly with His Song by Roberta Flack.
Ooh, shout out to
Interesting.
Roberta.
Yeah.
That was a nice song.
No, we're not giving her any flack for that song.
And for those just joining us, this is
Zing.
the Boys Cold One Hour.
Boys Cold One Hour. Follow us on Twitter at Cold One Boys.
If you want.
If you want.
If you want,
No
Keep
pressure.
doing that.
if you
no
want.
pressure.
So enough of messing around. Let's get into do some business talk. What do we do with our summers? Without being too braggy for some of you.
Speaking of business,
Oh.
I think all of us had internships this summer.
We did.
So
We did all the
We all
internships.
did a lot of
Yes.
business, maybe too much business.
We worked hard, played hard.
Played harder.
I worked decently hard and played very hard this summer.
Yeah, I worked very hard and played a little bit.
Opposite. So
I didn't really play that much either.
Oh, I played a lot. If you know what I mean.
Oh,
No, I'm
gosh.
kidding. But anyway, Sergey, what the heck were you doing this summer?
Oh man.
Well, so I was actually up in Chicago area by
Ooh.
Lake Forest, a little bit north of Chicago in the suburbs, as some like to call it.
Mhm.
And I was working for a little company called
A little place
a
called
little place
place
called
called,
Granger.
Granger.
So I worked up there this summer.
Home on the Grange.
I know, right? home on the Grange. I was like out on the farm every day,
Yeah,
bright
on
and
the
early
farm.
at five in the morning.
You know, the boys next door were running through your cornfields like, hey,
Hey,
get out of there.
hey, that's my field.
That's my field.
But no, so
This is a
I
New
was-
Yorker farmer. Hey, you kids.
But no, I was doing some supply chain work out there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
supply
And
chain.
so, but during that time, like a little bit of fun that I had was I played spike ball almost every single day.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
So jealous.
It was a lot.
I got
of
to
fun.
play with Sergey one time over the summer.
Yeah, that's
Same.
right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were all
I
there
didn't,
at the same time.
I didn't play with Sergey at all.
Oh.
But we played a lot since we've been back.
Yeah.
So that's like what I did, and I went down to Chicago quite a few times just to visit the sites, visit the.
Oh, I did play with you. You came down to Indy to visit us.
Yeah,
That was
that's
really
right.
fun. That was super
Okay, yeah.
fun.
So I played with all of you.
We had
I played
we
twice.
had a cold
Yeah.
one retreat.
We did.
Sadly, Jonathan wasn't there, but he was there in
Yeah, I was
spirit.
working too hard.
Yeah.
But he was not playing hard enough.
No.
Made my annual homage to the bean. You know.
Ooh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah,
but
we were
other
all
than
there
that-
for the. Well,
yeah.
Clay wasn't there for the bean.
Oh.
But
Ooh.
We did have multiple
Hey,
meetups.
we did.
So that
yeah,
was
we
nice.
had a few meetups.
Yes, we had Cold One Con. We had a fan meetup there, which was really fun.
Yeah, it was really
That's
nice
pretty
to-
fun, yeah.
Really
Thank
nice
you to
talk
everyone
some
who
of you
came.
guys.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really nice to talk to you guys. Some of you had some creepy letters, but I'm just trying to forget about those.
I really loved the Sergey cosplay that a lot of people were doing.
Yeah, the
Some
Sergey
of it was
cosplay
like
was
really
good.
accurate.
It's like so
Oh my
realistic.
goodness,
The,
yeah.
Sergey, the Sergey cosplay.
There were so many Sergeys
I also
running
like that
around.
that
It's hard
guy
to find the real one, to be
that guy
honest.
who's in the cosplay as like just a giant cold one.
Oh
That
yeah,
was really
yeah.
cool, too. It was
That
sad
was
when he
so
tipped-
cool.
When the top of the bottle like hit the lights and he fell over and he couldn't get up for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, and then he
Sad.
started leaking a little bit. It was really sad, yeah.
And we were all like, "Oh, he's supposed to be like a cherry Fago bottle," but it was just blood he had.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
No,
gosh,
kidding.
that's not good.
There was no
Holy
Coldland Con,
cow.
but there will be.
Yeah,
next
There
semester.
will be. Maybe.
We're planning it right now.
Oh, we should actually plan that.
shoot,
Yeah.
maybe.
But
Down
for,
Meadow or something.
for my summer,
Yeah.
I did intern. I interned for this company I'm very passionate about, a place called Ligma, which is really great. No kidding. No, I actually interned for Indiana University. I created a podcast for them, which has not been published yet, but will be soon.
Using your Boys Calling Hour skills.
Using my Bose Cohen Hour skills at audio. So when it comes out, you should listen to it if you
If
want.
you want.
You can if you want. It'll be really. We'll maybe talk about it in the show when it comes out. But it was a lot of fun to do. So that was a lot of fun. But it didn't occupy much of my time. So I also took the dreaded finite math, something I've been putting off for 3
Oof.
years, and it wasn't that bad. Granted, I took it
That's
through
good.
Ivy Tech. I took it online through Ivy Tech, so it's probably made it a lot easier. But okay, also all you kids listening out there, if you have to take finite, do it online through Ivy Tech. The questions on the homework, exams, and quizzes are all the exact same. Just putting it out there.
Oh wow.
I wish I took
Just
that.
putting it
That's
out there.
crazy.
I
That's crazy.
seriously if you get one thing out of the show, if you're in the College of Arts and Sciences and struggle at math, take finite through Ivy Tech.
If you want to.
If you want to.
Yeah, actually, I think there's a lot of college, like business.
Yeah.
You need that as well.
Oh, business
SPA,
too.
you
Oh
need-
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
Speed,
everyone
because
takes
I'm sure some
finite.
business people
actually.
struggle at math
Yeah,
also.
a lot of people take finite.
And then I also took the LSAT and GRE, but I did a lot of fun
Wow.
stuff. I played a lot of video games. I watched a lot of TV. I read a book a week. If I'm not being braggy enough, I did that,
Oh,
which
wow,
was really
that's a
fun.
lot of
Yeah,
books.
that's intense.
It's a lot of books. It was, I think 15, and then I
Too many books.
just played around a lot, and also just lounged about a little bit. So it was a very fun summer. One of the best so far, definitely.
Oh, it's
Wow.
awesome.
Cool.
What was your favorite book this summer?
Oh, I had a lot of books I really, really liked, but my favorite book from the summer here. Let me bring up my list on my phone. There were two. I mean, I'd recommend most of them, but there are two that I really, really recommend. Just a second. Let me bring up my notes. Okay, so my two favorite were probably Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders is amazing, and then the other one, they were all good, but I had to do with that, and then also Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'd actually probably recommend that one the most.
Oh,
So you should pick up Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro if you want and read it.
writing that down right now.
If you want to cry while reading a book, you should do that. If you don't, you should read Blue's Clues or something. I don't know what to tell you. And that's my summer. It was very
That's
fun.
awesome.
Wow.
Jonathan?
Yeah, so my summer was pretty good. So started out just chilling out at home, which was really nice. Got to
Nice.
go to the beach, got to hang out with the fam.
You shredded some Nard.
So that was I shredded a little gnar. So that was a really fun time. Always enjoyed that. Then I went to Chicago and interned at a bank there. I actually lived in the city, which was really fun. Lived in an apartment there.
Yes, you
So it was
did.
cool, big city life.
Big city boy, huh?
Yeah, living in the Big Apple. So that was a
You
good
just took your own
time.
little bite out of the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Hopefully there wasn't a worm in it.
Oh goodness, yeah, there might have been, but that's probably why I was sick for half the summer.
Oh, were you?
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I worked a lot, very many hours, but still had some time to do some fun stuff. Went to a couple Cubs games, went to a White Sox game. I did a cruise around Chicago, which I got to pick the playlist for, which was really, really fun. That was one of the highlights of the
Oh,
summer.
that would be a highlight.
That was
That's
super
your
fun.
speciality.
Yeah, I do like making playlists.
Yeah, he's a very good
What else
playlist
did I
maker.
do? I was on a softball team for the summer, so
Nice.
some fun stuff. Yeah, I got to hang out with
Hit some
Billy and
homers.
Sergey a little bit, a few times.
Yeah.
You didn't hang out with me at all. What's wrong with me?
Did not. I don't know, man. You didn't come to Chicago a ton, which is understandable. So
Yeah, I didn't know I'd be
But-
attacked so much.
I know. Come on,
Okay,
come on.
okay.
This is not an attack. I wish I saw you. We
Yes.
almost did, but then I had to go to work. You remember?
Yeah,
that?
I know.
I
That
was
so
literally
sad.
like about to hang out with
We were
you, and
gonna
then
get
I
lunch,
called you,
and
and
then-
then I was like, "Hey, I have to go to the office." Like,
Yeah.
so that was a big.
And then
theme
the
of
worst
my
part is then
summer,
when I
but-
saw you going to the Cubs stadium with all your Cubs gear on. I was like,
Okay,
oh, you must have had a
really?
meeting there.
Oh,
I'm totally
man.
kidding, obviously.
Yeah, different day. But
No, that would have been fun. We should have hung out, but hey, we can hang out now, which is
Oh
great.
yeah, we have so much time now.
so much time. All
Yeah,
right, but
really, school just feels easy now compared to this summer. Like this feels like a vacation to me,
School
which is
feels
nice.
kind of
so.
easy, but also it's like, wow, I'm glad I get the structure back in my life a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's very unstructured.
I
For
had
me,
too
it
much
wasn't.
structure,
For you
so-
guys, it wasn't, but for me, it was very unstructured.
Yeah.
Billy, what'd you do?
So for
Billy,
me,
what-
me it was
Billy,
definitely.
what did you do?
What did I do this time? No, for me it was definitely more structured over the summer. I also worked in Chicago, like Jonathan. I worked at a market research and data analytics firm called Nielsen.
Little place.
A little place called Yale. No, a little place called Nielsen. So that was a lot of fun. I still lived in my hometown, which I will not disclose because last time I did, all you crazy fans came to my home address.
Yes,
and-
that was really scary.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no. So it was fun.
He's from Highland, Indiana.
We had fun little intern events pretty frequently, so those were fun to do. Plus, it was nice to be back home, do stuff with like my family and with Camille, my girlfriend. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Camille.
Yeah, we did a lot of fun stuff.
Big
so
shout out to Camille.
hanging out, doing different things. I also saw a lot of movies.
Yes.
Over the summer, especially at the beginning,
Yeah.
which
Same.
I'm bringing up because it kind of inspired a discussion when we were planning the show
Yes.
about a little bit about movies. And honestly, at the beginning, not so much near the end, but at the beginning of summer, I honestly was watching like a movie in a movie theater, like on average one a week, which sounds insane.
No, that's not. That's what I do during the school year.
Really?
I probably watch a movie of the week during school year.
Oh wow.
Summer I did the same thing. I actually watched less than summer because usually I always go to the movies with Simone, but this summer my family were all like, "Oh, we don't want to go. We want to
Aw.
watch, some dumb stuff."
We want to watch Keeping Up with the
I
Kardashians.
know. Like, hey, enough. KUTW.
What?
Wait.
Oh,
KUWTK,
Oh, I got it. I was like, wait, what?
I always see that acronym and I'm like, what is that? Interesting. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Although before we talk about these movies that we've seen, Sergey, do we have sports? Because it is sports on the 20s.
Oh,
Sports.
we do have sports.
Sports.
So, just because it's senior year, I think most of us in the house have decided to get tickets. So
I think all of us, right?
I think all of us, yeah.
Which is exciting.
Yes,
It's fun.
we're finally
So-
all going to be ticketed.
Sadly, there was we did not go out to the first game with Virginia just because it was like
It was a
raining cats
downpour.
and dogs the
Yeah.
whole day, pretty
Oh
much.
goodness, we did still watch the game though.
We
together,
did.
which was
Wait,
fun.
you guys got tickets too?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were also parked illegally? I don't know you.
Oh.
Guys,
got me.
skipping around.
Yeah.
But the next game that's coming up is this Saturday for the Ball State game,
Ooh.
and that's going to be Saturday at noon, I believe.
Yeah, and that's another home game.
It is.
So hopefully we can make it out to that one. If
Yeah,
it's not.
hopefully.
Let's just
bad
say
weather.
we're ready to kick the Ball State team, right in their booties.
Ooh.
And one other important game that's coming up.
Nice.
Oh yeah, a little
Nice.
game called
A
softball.
little game
Oh.
called softball.
A little game
Yale.
called Yale.
Yeah.
And so
About to be a new cold one joke.
I know.
I forget what is the team called, Clay?
The team is called the Boathouse Baboons, named after the rival team in Airbud 4, I think.
Airbud.
Seventh
yes.
inning fetch.
Seventh inning fetch. Yes.
Seventh inning fetch.
The
It's the
Baboons.
Fernfield Timberwolves versus I think it's like the Yakima Baboons or something.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Baboons are actually the team that doesn't win.
Yes,
Because
they're
the main
absolutely-
character's on the other team. But hey,
Yeah.
They're like
Baboons,
the
but
evil
hey.
team. They're wearing all black. They're like all taller than the other kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna win our game.
Oh,
We are.
for sure.
Oh,
And we're the big good
Um,
guys too.
yeah.
Yeah, we are gonna be the good guys.
Maybe we don't have a dog. Okay.
But we have Sergey.
Is it sad that I was thinking that for some reason? I was like, no, I'm not going to say that because that doesn't make any sense.
goodness.
We were both.
Hey, it makes sense.
A little info on our game. So we're
That's
playing
funny.
this Friday at 6:15 at the
Oh, this Friday.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shoot! I already
Wait,
can't
what?
make the first game.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
man.
what in the
What a
world?
blunder
So it's gotta be
for next
time for
week,
this.
maybe.
Wait, we. Oh my goodness.
I'm so
okay.
sorry, yeah.
Well,
Well,
whatever.
what,
We
why
have
don't you tell us
18
on air
people
what
on the
your
roster.
excuses
Yeah.
Come on. What?
Jesus.
What's your excuse?
My excuse is the same excuse why I asked you to delay your birthday party because I have to go up to Crown Point to visit someone.
Oh, okay.
And I totally
okay.
misconnected the dots.
You know, it's okay. It's
Oh,
okay.
thank
so
you.
we're playing this Friday. Clay will not be there, unfortunately. But we're
I'll be
playing this
there
Friday,
all the other games.
6:15. It's at the field across from McNutt. If anyone wants to come support our team, if you want to do that, you can.
We could use some cheerleaders.
Oh, we
could.
could. Yeah.
Tryouts tomorrow.
So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
post some cheerleaders. Text us a picture of your outfits beforehand so we can approve them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your shorts have to be at least. No, I'm kidding.
Put your arms-
Yeah,
put your-
yeah,
put your arms to your
yeah.
sides, and the
Your
shorts.
shorts have to go.
The shorts
yeah.
can't be below where you're where you're
Okay, really? Oh my goodness. But
Jesus.
yeah, I'm excited to hit some balls.
Yes, I'm excited to hit balls. Hit balls too.
Yeah. And speaking of hits,
Yes.
Oh.
we're talking about the hit
Ooh.
movies.
hit movies.
Yes. Hit
So
movies.
I know there's a lot of movies that collectively we've all seen, and so I know a lot
talk
of
about
them.
those first.
A lot of them we have like all of us have seen them.
Yes.
One of them we can briefly talk about. This is kind of the either end of spring, beginning of summer, depending on when you want to define it.
Yeah, this movie is like the defining moment of all of our friendships.
Yeah. I don't know about that. But we did see Avengers Infinity War. Everyone here has. I won't
Raise your
spoil
hand if you've
anything.
seen it.
Raise your hand if you've seen it.
All right.
All right, now you listening at home, look at everyone who's raising their hand right now, and that's who.
And tell them you saw the worst movie of it. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, really? No, so I don't want to spoil anything, but I thought it was a very good movie, personally.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Any initial thoughts?
I
Good,
mean,
bad?
I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say when Air Bud, died, it was pretty. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, goodness.
It was definitely a good movie. It was like definitely in the top tier Marvel movies. Definitely wasn't my favorite. There were a few,
Yeah.
I think, things that were kind of holes in it, which Billy clarified for me, which I appreciated. But at the same time, it's like there's still holes for the average movie viewer. You know what I mean?
I will agree with that, and I think it is. It's just like a. What am I trying to say here? It's like there's no way around it. I feel like at this point because the movie is so long and they have to fit so much stuff in it that they don't really have time anymore to like stop and explain things for people who haven't seen every movie.
No, I mean I've seen every
So-
movie, but there were some certain plot things that didn't exactly make sense to the average viewer.
To the average viewer, if you know the lore from the
Okay.
from the movies,
Sure.
Yeah.
sure.
no. But I do
Also-
understand that.
I would say it's the
understand
best
that.
Avengers movie.
At first I did not think that, but now I do.
It was
I agree.
definitely really good. It was very focused on the villain, I thought, which could be
Which
a
is
good
cool.
or bad thing.
I thought that was a good thing.
At first I was really put off by that, but like not in a bad way. And then later I really ended up liking because there's gonna be
Yeah.
another one, and there's gonna be like the final chapter.
See, my take is any sort of media or movie, book, TV show where there's heroes and villains, I'm always more interested in the villains than the heroes. Not like I'm not rooting for them, but it's just they're always the more interesting characters
Yeah.
usually to me.
Oh.
And I thought this was no exception. I thought the villain was a really interesting character. I thought
Mm-hmm.
this could even have been an Avengers movie. I mean, we all know that Thanos is the villain, right? So it's
Yeah.
not a spoiler.
Yeah, we can say that.
It could have just, and if it was, I would have just spoiled it there. It could have been called Thanos Infinity War, honestly, because
It
it's
really
basically a Thanos movie.
Yeah.
Or Thanos, I don't know how the
Well,
right
actually, the
Yeah.
comic it's based off, I believe, is just called Marvel's Infinity War. I
Yeah.
think they're just calling it Avengers because like marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes
marketing.
sense.
I mean, you're a marketing major, so you know. what
Yeah,
you're
so I know. No, I'm kidding.
I would-
Nope. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say I really enjoyed it. I remember going into the movie, I was a little bit worried it might take like the standard like traditional Marvel formula for some of their Avengers movies, which some of them have worked out really well, but some of them also felt a little bit maybe like repetitive or kind of
Yeah.
predictable. But I really thought it was one of
Yeah.
the better movies.
It was definitely unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very unique.
Very unique. And lastly, I also just to speak about how the villain is kind of the focus in this one. I think that was a really good move because it makes you like just focusing on the villain is nice. Plus, we've had like 18 Marvel movies focusing on these same. Like Iron Man's been in like 8 movies. Captain America's been in like 8 movies. About. I'm exaggerating maybe a little. I don't know if I am. Iron Man, I probably aren't. But anyways, it was cool because we already know the heroes.
Yes.
If you've seen the other movies, so focusing on the villain kind of makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
for this one.
like I said, I always find the villain more interesting. I thought it was a good take, especially because the villain was a really interesting villain. My thing with these Marvel movies is the production value is so high. There's so many people working on them. They're sort of like Disney movies. Like you're never gonna go.
They are Disney movies.
Yeah, they are Disney
Yeah.
movies. But I mean, they're sort of the same or sort of like the equivalent would be like a Drake album. You know what I mean? So many really talented people
true.
are working that you're gonna have a fun time no matter what. No matter if the movie's plot is really, really stupid. It is the level of quality control is so high. The movies are always in the theaters are always gonna be an enjoyable experience.
That's a good point.
And I think this is no exception. But I mean, it's sort of like I'm not saying they all blend into one big movie, but there's definitely sort of parts of it where when I see a more unique movie like Ant-Man or Black Panther in the Marvel movies, I'm like, wow, that was really, really good.
Mhm.
Versus the Marvel movies, which are always like, that was good. That was like, I really had fun in that movie. But
You mean like the Avengers movies?
yeah,
Yeah.
and those are always
yeah.
like a ton of fun. But it's always like, maybe I didn't feel like very like, what's the word? Engaged, like mentally engaged in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Well, should we move on to some more movies?
Yeah, another one that I know we all saw was Incredibles 2.
Yes, this
right?
is
It was
exciting to
another
talk
super-
about that.
And I actually saw
Yeah.
this in theaters 3 times.
Can we just say this?
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy.
Can we just say this? I kind of want to talk about the ending of Incredibles. Can we say that if you're scared about Incredible spoilers, just close your ears or something?
Let's say. Okay, so
let's not spoil
why haven't you seen the
anything.
movie?
Yeah,
let's
not
give
spoil
you
anything.
let's give them like here. Let's figure it out so they know when to
but
come
there's something
back.
No, let's
there's
just
something I
not-
specifically want to talk about.
Oh,
come on.
I do. Okay, I kind of know what you're probably gonna say. Okay, let's just say if you haven't seen Incredibles 2, I'm starting a timer. Get your phone timer out. We're gonna talk about it for 1 minute. Is that fair? You think that the spoilers?
Okay. Let's wait until the spoiler part and then do the 1 minute timer.
Okay.
So, I mean, then-
so you can prepare yourself.
Yes. So Incredibles 2. What do you guys think? Oh, I actually just getting a text from somebody saying don't spoil it for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
so
Let's not do
let's
it.
just-
Let's
We're
not
not-
spoil
let's
it.
just not
Yeah,
spoil it.
we don't want to
Good,
have
good,
people
good
to
idea.
turn off their radios and turn it back.
Yeah.
Let's just not.
All
yeah.
I'll say without any spoilers, I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was a good
saw it
movie
3
too.
times.
I thought it was a fun, like I said,
3
just
times?
Avengers. Fun. It was really entertained during the movie.
I
saw it
will
3
say
times?
the first one was way better.
The
in
first
my
time you
opinion.
watched it, or the
No,
first
the
movie?
first
Oh,
movie.
okay.
Yeah.
The first movie was.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 times just because I don't know why,
Mm.
but it was really good. It was a fun movie.
Fun for the whole family.
Fun for the whole family. I will say I
A
was
little extra fun for Daddy with Mrs. Incredible. No, I'm joking.
Okay,
I'm
really?
joking.
I
come
will
on.
say the Mr.
Now
Incredible
that's a spoiler.
stuff. No, the Mr. Incredible stuff was my favorite part.
Yes.
But lastly, I just want to say, like, when you compare it to the first one, though, I feel like
Mhm.
the first one just blows it out of the water. For kids, though, I can see it being
Yes.
Yeah.
really good.
John,
I
what do you think?
will say the animation of this one is very impressive.
That's
Very
super
impressive.
good. Like
That's
actually, I watched some clips of the first one after I watched this, and I was like, oh, this is kind of ugly to be honest. Like not that it,
It
was
looks
bad,
terrible.
but like compared
I
to
mean,
this one,
It doesn't hold
no,
up.
I know it was so long ago, and I can still totally watch the
Yeah.
first one again and have it still be great. But it's very impressive how
CGI ages super
it's
bad.
so good,
Yeah.
how it is now. So
Yeah, I
that
totally
was
agree.
very impressive. It was a fun movie. I wasn't like blown away, but I liked it a lot.
I rewatched the first Incredible. I almost said Avengers. The first Incredibles movie, and like you, I was like, wow, the animation looks terrible.
Yeah.
At the time, it was amazing, but it looks like almost like a PS1 game or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it looks so bad,
Yeah.
and obviously it's nobody's fault why it looks bad. That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
3D animation always works. That's how those effects always work.
Like when they come out like 10 years ago, 12
Literally
years
10
ago,
years
something
ago.
like that. So
yeah.
yeah.
So obviously I give it slack for that, but it's cool to see everyone's favorite crime fighting family, the Incredibles, in modern day technology, 3D. Thought it was super fun. The first one also is incredibly dark. There's
It is.
like
It is.
I did
yeah.
not realize how dark it was when I watched it. Like there's
Mm.
all this stuff about death, depression, suicide. You're like,
Oh goodness.
this is like
yeah.
actually kind of making me sad.
Yeah.
Like not even sad like cheesy sad part of the movie, but like this is kind of depressing. Like, I kind
Yeah.
of want to stop watching this because it's kind of depressing.
I think I actually
know.
wasn't allowed to watch it when it first came out because it was like
Yeah.
too dark. Yeah.
I mean, it opens
If
with
I'm
a guy trying to
remembering
commit
correctly.
suicide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I mean,
When's the next time you're gonna see that in Ella Enchanted?
that's a valid.
Yeah.
I'd say for
This one's more
unless you're
kid
a
friendly.
kid though,
Yeah.
like I like the fact that the first one was darker.
I kind of like it, but
Yeah.
but I'm like, well, this animated world is too real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For a
Oh,
parent with like a
yeah.
5-year-old, this one's
Yeah.
much more appropriate.
They're facing unemployment and debt and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But the first one is awesome. I love the first one. It was so fun watching it. The second one is kind of like it's sort of like a Meanwhile Back at the Ranch storyline where there's 2 storylines going on. One is Miss Incredible fighting crime, and one is Mr. Incredible dealing with the kids at home. And you'd expect the action one to be more exciting, but like Billy said, I found the ones at home with Mr. Incredible to be way more fun.
Mhm.
Like, I guess the point of that way of storytelling is so you never get really sick of one over the other. But every time it flashed back to Mr. Incredible, it's like, oh yes, like,
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I like the character more; it's just because like that was just the more fun stuff. He was dealing with the kids,
Yeah.
you know, like it was more like domestic. I don't know. I like that
More
part.
relatable, although it's obviously very like fantastic.
Yeah,
at the same
definitely.
time,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
There's been so many like action movies and superhero movies that I feel like the actual superhero stuff was the more generic, like stuff.
Exactly.
Whereas
Yeah.
the family
Yeah, yeah.
stuff was the more unique, fun,
Right.
like exciting stuff.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't find myself that interested in. Oh, I'm not going to say who the villain is. I will say the first Incredibles had an amazing villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of made the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
The villain had this cool backstory, and he was so interesting.
Mhm.
This one has an interesting villain, but definitely is not. What's his name? Mind Freak?
Screen Slayer.
No. What's the original one's?
Oh,
Mind
Syndrome.
Blaster?
Syndrome, Mind
Mind
Freak. Wait, what is Mind Freak? Isn't
A
that
syndrome
something?
is kind of like a mind like freak sort of. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Oh, Mind Freak is the Chris Angel thing. The magician. Yeah.
wait, like the goth magician guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
great. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Mind
But
Freak.
Syndrome basically. is
Imagine
really-
if he was the villain.
Syndrome for a kids movie is a really good villain. Just saying.
I agree.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mind Freak. I'm sorry.
I thought that the characters, like the other superheroes, weren't all that interesting compared to like Mr. Freeze or whatever his name is.
Frozone.
Oh, Frozone. Yeah, Mr. Freeze. Oh
Batman
yeah,
villain.
that's a villain from Batman.
Jeez,
But yeah,
man.
I don't know. I thought Frozone was a much cooler.
Yeah, but Mr. Awesome was really cool in this movie.
Mr. Awesome. Who's
You're the main character. I'm making a joke because we keep
yeah.
getting the.
Oh,
it's like
okay,
Mr.
okay,
Incredible.
okay.
You know, we keep getting the.
What
name
about
wrong.
No, I'm
Stretchy-
talking about like
Stretchy Woman?
I'm talking about
Oh,
the
Stretchy
the
Woman.
new superheroes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
the-
like them at
whoever.
all.
They're fine, but I'm just
Rubber
saying they
Lass.
weren't.
The guy who looked like an owl. The guy
Yeah,
who
yeah,
like threw
there's
up.
like-
His
The guy,
superpower
from
was like throwing
Wisconsin,
up.
the guy who
Yeah.
was from Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. These are.
I don't know. I
kind
feel
of-
like
They were
I actually
fine,
really
they were
liked the
fine,
movie
but-
I was watching.
Yeah.
No.
Not to nitpick it. Not to nitpick it.
Yeah.
But definitely,
Yeah.
like as a movie, as an experience, amazing. As a movie, you know, maybe just good.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I had watched it actually the day before it came out. I watched the first one, and then when I went to the theaters, I watched the second one.
Ooh.
And yeah, I definitely would say like it was a very enjoyable experience. But when comparing the two, I like the first one much better.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I would have to say like it's always focusing on Captain America. I mean, Mr. Incredible.
Captain Underpants.
Oh, I saw that. That was really good.
Oh, did you really?
I did see that.
Oh, okay.
But Mr. Incredible is like, like in the first movie, remember when they find like gazer beams, like
Oh,
skeletal
that's
remains?
so scary.
yeah.
Like there's like actually scary, like very dark.
I know.
Parts of that
But I
movie.
mean, honestly, that raises the stakes.
It
though,
does.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely
Yeah.
raises the
Yeah.
stakes. Yes, like when Mr. Incredible thinks his wife and kids have just
Oh
been
my gosh, that
murdered,
is so.
Oh, goodness.
That is an intense
and
scene,
he's
but it's a
literally ready
good
to kill
scene.
them. It's a good scene.
It's a
but
good scene.
for kids.
It'll
Would be
be
like,
easy, like breaking it.
too thick. Yes.
Oh, spoilers for Incredibles 1. Nah, that doesn't even.
Yeah.
reveal.
Okay.
Nope.
If you haven't watched Incredibles 1,
That's,
Come on, you're 15 years too late.
come on, man. Come
15.
on.
Or Syndrome would say you're 14 years too late, or whatever.
There's,
You know, he has that
there's
line.
Mind Freak would say.
Mind
I'm
Freak.
about to blow your mind.
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
Mind freak.
So those are all the only movies we watched all together. I watched a fair amount of movies, less than I normally would do. Let me go some highlights of movies I saw.
Yeah, let's just rapid
Yeah.
fire real quick.
Movie theater, Ant-Man 2, loved it.
Great movie.
Sergey and I also
Very
saw that.
good.
I did not see that.
I got to be honest, Billy introduced me to the first Ant-Man. I loved the first Ant-Man, and this one is even better.
I'd agree it is better.
Yes.
I would say if you think Ant-Man's a dumb concept, you might not like it. But if you're fine with just being like, I just want to see a silly movie where the stakes are pretty low, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it's just mostly about like the characters, then this is such a good movie.
And for being a Marvel movie coming after Infinity War, they're basically opposite movies.
Opposites.
Like one is like the fate of the universe.
All serious.
And this one's like,
Yeah.
wacky and goofy.
And I would say, although I do like the Marvel humor, the Ant-Man humor is different from the Marvel humor, and I think it's a little funnier. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I do like it, yeah. And
Yeah.
again, it kind of goes back to like it has like some more domestic like problems and issues,
Yeah.
like with like family and stuff. And I always like that.
Yeah, I always like the family themes, and also the main character is literally like I'm always such a huge sucker for like if there's ever a little kid or something involved. The main character is literally like this kind of like this ex-con guy who's kind of like really like a loser, who's kind of like super lazy. So that's interesting. It's a nice interesting break from most of the the protagonists.
Yeah.
Another movie we watched.
Should we move on to the movies that we all saw together?
I think we've hit them all.
Oh
No, the movies we've
Oh,
seen,
oh, yeah, so we
we've
can skip
seen
the summer
at the
movies.
house.
Right.
So we have
not
some movies at the
Midsommar.
house. Yeah. So
We can
let's
spend some time on those because we all saw them.
let's talk about those for a second. So yeah, that's a much better idea.
She's the man.
She's the man. That was
She's
the most
the
recent
man.
movie we saw with Amanda Bynes and a young, skinny Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
Ooh. Still pretty buff though.
Talk about a feast.
Still
for the
looking pretty
eyes.
good.
Yeah.
No, he looked better back then.
Better back. Oh yeah, okay.
Now
Yeah.
his face is kind of like muscly and like broad. You know what I
It's
mean?
too big, too thick.
Yeah, he's kind of too thick now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked the Chan. I never saw the appeal of Channing Tatum. Like I always thought he was kind of ugly.
Mm.
Then I saw this movie and I'm like, well, no,
Hubba,
you know.
hubba. Yeah.
Hubba, hubba.
But yeah, that was a pretty fun movie.
It was.
Super fun. Yeah.
Another one that had
It's
to do-
apparently sorry, real quick.
Oh, no, go ahead.
It's apparently a remake of the Shakespeare play Twelfth Night.
Wait, really?
Wait,
Which I had
actually?
no clue.
Is it
And-
about a woman?
What was that about?
Oh god.
Yeah, so I thought the name Viola. I thought the name Viola was kind of odd. That's the main character's name. So the main character from Twelfth Night. It's literally exactly what. Obviously, there's no soccer, but it's exactly what She's the Man is, based on the Shakespeare play. The main character is Viola. She's vying for the affection of the Duke of Orsino, who's known as Duke Orsino in the movie, pretending to be her
Oh,
brother
wow.
Sebastian. So it really
Wow.
is. Like,
Oh
insane.
shoot.
So it's actually really cool. Like
That's
this,
pretty
this
sweet.
random rom com, which I would say on the end of rom coms, actually, it's definitely on the pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
It's
agree.
based off the Shakespeare play though, which I thought was really cool.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But speaking of other movies where an unexpected person plays sports, we've also watched a couple Air Bud movies.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are
which
Oh,
we've
yeah.
referenced a little bit. We
Yeah.
watched the seventh inning
Seventh
Fetch,
inning fetch,
which is the one where Air Bud plays baseball,
right?
and then the first one,
Which
right?
is just Air Bud, I think.
Air
it's
Bud,
called,
yeah.
which is the classic one where he plays basketball.
yes.
So judging just on my objective tastes, or my subjective taste rather, of what is a good movie, I would give Air Bud a seventh inning fetch. I really liked it. I'd give it like a high 6 to like a low 7. That was
Okay.
really fun. But actually, the original Air Bud gave me like the best feeling. I don't know. I really liked
Oh,
it. I'd
so
give that movie
nice.
honestly,
Oh.
in my subjective rating, like a 9. I had so much
I
fun.
think
in
that's
Air Bud.
pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a very good movie. A little bit surprisingly sad at a few points.
Very
I
sad.
was almost tearing up
There-
at Air
I-
Bud, actually.
There were a few tears shed on my part during a few scenes of Air Bud.
Yeah.
And also in Air Bud seventh inning fetch, there were some really sad scenes too.
True,
There
yeah.
were.
Because
Yeah.
basically, Air Bud, as you guys know, is about the kid who is playing basketball. He's mourning the loss of his father.
Right. Yeah.
He moved to a new town, doesn't really have any friends, and he gets this dog, and he starts playing with the dog. The dog playing basketball is actually a relatively small part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mostly about the boy and his dog.
Yeah, and the dog was kind of abused by this clown.
Oh, this stupid
The
clown.
stupid clown.
The clown didn't even name the dog, and he was abusing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some darker themes in Air Bud.
Yeah, but really
But
happy.
maybe it's better for it.
Really happy movie. Really good, like
Not
feel
good,
good
yeah.
family
felt
movie.
good, and I just like the feel. I love, and every time I see something from like the really early 2000s, I just feel huge nostalgia.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So this movie's no exception. I was like, oh man, this movie just feels great to watch. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really fun.
17th Fetch was really good too, but it's a time period I'm less nostalgic about, like the mid to late 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and that was more like a wacky movie about a dog playing baseball, where the original one was more just about a boy and his dog, and the dog happened to play basketball.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone already knew the dog had skills in Air Bud.
Yeah.
Something
Right,
in Fetch.
yeah.
But they didn't know it could play baseball. So.
Yeah, 17th Fetch. I mean, they're both Air Buds. So they're both kind of cheesy. It was definitely more cheesy.
Seventh Inning Fetch was
Yeah.
more cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
well,
I had a lot of fun in it though.
Yeah, it did get me excited for softball though, for sure.
Yes.
definitely.
Very
that's
excited
right.
to play, and it named our team the Baboons.
Yeah, the
as we-
baboons. The
mentioned earlier,
baboons.
so.
It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely liked them.
Clay even got an Air Bud T-shirt, so that shows.
I did get an
that
Air Bud
shows how much
t-shirt.
we like it.
So
I
if
might
you
get
see
one
a guy-
too at some
If you
point.
see a guy walking around with an Air Bud T-shirt, that's me.
It's a very nice shirt.
I don't know what to tell you. I really loved the original Air Bud. It just gave me a great feeling. All right, but so we also watched. We're gonna have to go through this one probably quick because we have a segment plan. American Psycho.
Yes.
Oh,
very
yeah.
different.
Oh, yeah.
Thematic departure from the other movies we talked about.
What would you call it? A psychological thriller?
I'd say it's a thriller to a horror movie, a black comedy horror movie. I'd say that.
Comedy. Wow.
Well, a
Yeah,
lot of
black
parts of it
comedy.
are
okay.
Yeah.
black
I'd
comedy,
agree. I'd agree.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking
Black
about
comedy.
like a horror, like a black
thriller.
comedy mixed with a horror movie because it was very like it's like a total commentary on society
Yes.
at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it. And I would say, even though it's such a different movie, I would say it was a really, really good movie.
Really good movie.
Because when it makes you like one of the when I watch a movie and I keep thinking about it like the next day or
Yeah.
the day after that, that's when I know it's like, oh, that's a
Prisoners
good
is the
movie.
same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
I
had like
thought
a,
about
we
it
had
a
like
lot.
a long discussion about what we thought really happened at the end. It was a lot
right.
of fun.
Yeah.
Scary,
Not to
but good
spoil.
movie.
Let's not spoil anything. For
We're not
this
spoiling
one.
anything.
Let's not spoil it.
But yeah, it was. You really don't even know what happened entirely.
Yeah,
at
it
the
leaves
end
it
of
up.
the movie.
Not like it just totally loses focus, but it like leaves it up to you to see. Okay, what do I think happened? Which is cool.
Yeah. And it was a good look into my future as an investment banker.
Yes, the guy
so,
reminded me
Sure.
so much of Jonathan. Like everything
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. If you've seen
Oh.
American Psycho,
Yeah.
and you know Patrick Bateman, he's basically just a Jonathan clone.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much,
why I
yeah.
always have to
Yeah.
lock up the knives at night.
Yeah, lock up that. And also lock up the exfoliating face cream for the morning.
you can be a
Every
psycho
morning I
sometimes.
wake up and
Kidding.
put on a ice mask in case my face is puffy. No,
Oh man.
But bottom line, I think would you guys agree? We recommend any
I
of these
recommend
movies?
all
yes.
4 of those movies.
I would too.
Absolutely.
I would too.
yeah.
I would say in order of recommendation, for my personal taste, I recommend Air Bud 1 first, American Psycho second, and then She's the Man and Air Bud 4 are both tied for third.
Wait, which one did you put first?
Air Bud.
Air Bud.
Okay, I think I'd agree
I
with
would
that
agree
list.
with that. Yeah.
I'd agree with that list.
I think that's perfect.
I concur.
All great movies though.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
at least
yeah.
like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, all above 7 now, I'd say.
Yeah.
But now it's on to this. Oh, sorry, Billy.
Oh, I was just gonna say we do want to have time for our segment, so we want to run through the news real quick and then get into our movie themed segment. Is that good with you guys?
Yeah. So speaking of sports and the news, let's go into the weather.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
for anybody who's on the East Coast, you might well, obviously like we're here in the Midwest, but for family or friends you have on the East Coast, big news is Hurricane Florence, I believe.
Ooh.
So I think it's a Category 3, so it's pretty big. It's 120 mile per hour winds, 83-foot waves toward the center. And it's supposed to hit the Carolina shores in a few days.
geez.
So
Man, missing
yeah.
Florida for once.
Yes.
So
yeah, no, yeah, it's and it's kind of early in the season, but we're already to letter F. So that's how many?
yeah.
How many hurricanes
That's
would that be? 6?
Or
No,
no? Yeah, it's 6.
Oh, was it 6?
No, it's 4.
Wait, did they skip
No, it's
A?
six.
It's the 6th letter. I don't know if they skip vowels or what, but
No,
No, I don't.
No,
think
they
so.
don't.
So there's been 5. It's a 6th hurricane.
It's the 6th hurricane of the season.
Wow.
So
So
making big
That's a lot.
waves.
Ooh.
ooh.
Yep. But that's all that's on the news for the 40s.
Great. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Sergey.
Clay, would you like to explain?
Yes.
this
So our next segment, we
with
haven't had the chance to name it yet, but it's basically a movie segment where me and Billy, we were joking around about film series that just have had so many movies. It's just ridiculous.
me? You can't even keep track.
You can't even keep track, and like you go to the Wikipedia page, you're like, I have no clue. When did they make all these movies? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So we basically decided to come up with a segment where we took some of these long-running movie franchises and took 3 real movies and 1 fake movie that we made up ourselves completely. That sounds like a part of the franchise, and we're gonna ask you guys, Jonathan and Sergey, or also Billy, like basically.
Like
So-
we don't know each other's.
Yeah, we don't know each other's.
So there'll always be 3 people guessing.
Yeah, and they'll have to come together to try and guess the fake one.
And you
Or
guys
maybe,
can play along at
or maybe
home.
they don't have to come together. Maybe they can guess independently. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we can. You guys have the option.
So, Billy,
maybe?
do you want to start it off?
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Time for some movie mania.
Yeah, movie mania.
Yes.
So
That's the name of the segment.
oh, that's a good name for it. Movie mania.
So let's do it. Let's do it. We have to do it pretty quick. Let's do
Yes, and please play along at home if you would
Yes.
like. So the first one, and I have a feeling this one's going to be easy because Sergey is in this group.
Oh.
But it is Star Trek.
it. Ooh.
And I'm referencing the original movies that was like done by the original cast. So the 4 movies that I'll be presenting to you. The first one I also have like a brief sentence just to explain what happens. So the first one is not the first one. These are in random order. The Search for Spock, which after Spock's spirit is trapped inside Dr. McCoy, Kirk and crew, Kirk's the captain, go on an adventure to find Spock's dead corpse, grow it back from a baby again, and then put Spock's spirit back inside it. So that's the synopsis of that
Search
one.
for Spock.
Next one is Star Trek Planet of the Titans. After rescuing aliens from a solar system being destroyed by a black hole, the crew must uncover the mystery of why all the survivors are flocking to Stonehenge on Earth. Stonehenge appearance. Next, we have The Final Frontier, Star Trek The Final Frontier. Spock's brother Cybok, I don't know who came up with that idea, takes control of the Enterprise and forces it to go to the center of the universe so he can meet God.
Oh wow.
Or so he
Oh my
thinks.
goodness.
And then Star Trek The Undiscovered Country, amidst peace negotiations with their longtime enemies, the Klingons. Any of you who know Star Trek know Klingons are the bad guys.
In the original.
In the original, Kirk must prove that the Federation is innocent after being framed for a murderous attack on the Klingon
Oh
ship.
Jesus. Okay.
So which of those 4 do you think is of those 4, which one do you think is fake?
Can you run through just the titles one more time?
Yes. Search for Spock, Planet of the Titans, The Final Frontier, The Undiscovered Country.
Okay, so I think Undiscovered Country sounds real. Search for Spock sounds real to me. My guess would have to be Attack of the Titans.
Planet of the Titans.
Planet of the Titans.
All right. Would you guys agree with that?
What do you guys think, though?
Hmm.
Sergey, do you
Say
wanna
the last
weigh
one
in?
one more
Or do
time,
feel
if you don't
know-
mind.
do you
What was the
already
last
know
one?
answer?
I know
The
the answer,
Undiscovered
so I
Country.
don't want to give
Okay,
anything
no,
away
no,
for
no.
this
Oh, if
one.
you want.
Oh yeah,
you
we
can-
should just.
Well,
I mean,
I'll
we're
let
working
you, I'll
together,
let
right?
you two. I'll let you two, and then once you two have made your decision, then I'll say like what.
I
mine
feel
is.
like Attack on Titan. Or, sorry, Planet of the Titans.
Planet of the Titans.
Sounds like the fake one. I feel like the Cybok one sounds like a really crazy episode of Star Trek.
Mm. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Oh,
Yeah, I would also go with Planet of the Titans.
Yes.
Oh,
And
nice.
you guys are all correct.
All right.
Good
Yeah.
fake plot.
It
Definitely.
is, and actually, the reason it's so good is because it's a. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Holy cow, he knows everything. I did not. I know all the movies because I've seen them all. I did not know about this though. This is a deleted. This was a planned movie called Star Trek Planet of the Titans with that
Oh, no
plot.
way.
Yeah.
And they
That's
they got
crazy.
rid of it. They canceled it.
That's a really cool
'Cause-
fact, actually.
Man, nice.
Yeah, so fun fact. So Clay, do you want to take over our next
So
series?
the next franchise I'm going to be tackling is the Fast and Furious. We all know all these
Oh.
ridiculous Fast and Furious movies. This is also an easier one. And I didn't have a short sentence, but I can tell you what I think they'd be about. I haven't seen
Oh,
any
it's
of
fine.
these.
I mean, we're
So-
kind of running out of time.
So the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Furious 7, the Fast and the Furious Los Banderos, or Fast 3.
Oh, wait.
I can go over the titles.
Say
To
them one more
me,
time.
Los Banderos sounds like it might be fake, but also they do have crazy movies.
Yeah.
What was
So
the
that
last
actually
one?
could be real.
I know
So-
Tokyo Drift.
You're not
is
looking
in
them
I
up,
there.
think Tokyo Drift.
I
You're
know
not looking
Furious
them up.
7
Hold on,
is
I'm typing
in
them
the
out
movie.
so I can.
Okay, Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Furious 7, the Fast and the Furious Los Banderos, or Fast 3.
What is pardon my my lack of knowing what Los Banderos means. What does that mean?
I think it means the bandits.
The bandits. Oh.
Bandoliers.
You know what? I'm thinking Fast 3. Like what kind of a name is that?
Well, they did do that though. It would be like Fast whatever, Furious whatever.
Well, I
They
know
did
that-
switch up, and it was like Too Fast, Too
Oh.
Furious was one of them. I remember that one specifically.
Well,
Yeah,
did they do one that was just called Fast something?
probably. I don't know if it was 3.
Oh, see,
I
it
could be wrong here.
Might be
though.
Fast 2. Like it might have been
I don't
Fast and
know.
the Furious and then Fast and the Furious Fast 2.
I don't know.
Well, he was
about-
saying Too Fast, Too Furious, so that was probably 2.
Oh,
I don't know about
and Furious.
Fast 3, but I know they did Furious 7. So
Yeah,
that makes
Furious
me think
7 sounds right.
that makes me think they
Well,
did a Fast at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet they did. I feel like Los Banderos.
I'm gonna go with Los Banderos too.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I'll go with that too.
You don't have to. We can split.
Los Banderos, though?
Yeah.
Los Banderos is a real Fast and the Furious movie.
No
It's
way.
one of the short films. So they made some feature-length films and 2 short films.
Oh,
Oh.
come on.
And it's one of the short films. Fast 3 is
I
the
didn't
big
even
one.
know.
Oh,
about
Oh,
so good. We
shoot.
should have listened.
So Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift is the third Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
even know about the short films.
Yeah.
I
Were
didn't
those
know
in-
either.
Were those in theaters or
Wow.
what?
I think they were probably a limited theater release.
Huh.
But yeah, so that's that. And Billy, what's your next one?
Yeah,
Good guess
alright,
though.
yeah.
Los Banderos sounded so fake. I had to include it.
Yeah, wow. Sergey, and I'm sorry we didn't listen to you.
Oh, no,
So
that's fine.
the next one is the Mission Impossible movies. And I also have just like one very quick sentence about each one. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is Mission Impossible Golden Serpent. A new threat arises in the form of an organization called the Golden Serpent. With massive ties to major countries' banks and treasuries, Ethan, he's the main character, must stop them from unleashing chaos by devaluing all of modern currency. The next one's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. After Ethan, once again the main character, and his team are blamed for a bombing, they must stop an individual known only as Cobalt from starting a nuclear war.
Ooh.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. After his team is shut down, Ethan must go rogue in order to take down a mysterious syndicate made out of other rogue agents who want to bring about a new world order. And then finally, Mission Impossible Fallout. After a mission goes awry, Ethan takes it upon himself to take down the syndicate and stop them from using plutonium bombs to create a clean slate for the Earth. So we have Golden Serpent, Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout.
So to me, Fallout and Golden Serpent sound like the fake ones.
Yeah, I
Golden
think
Serpent.
I'm pretty sure
me-
Golden Serpent. Wait, I don't think that is a thing.
Fallout though, that doesn't sound really.
I'm pretty
good.
sure Fallout is. I don't think there would be one where they
All right,
demonetize.
Golden Serpent.
No,
all-
that sounds too
That just
ridiculous.
sounds too
Yeah.
fake.
All right,
Yeah.
Golden Serpent then.
Golden Serpent is the fake one.
Yay!
Yes, I actually
very creative.
I feel like I've heard of all the other ones, although I haven't really
yeah.
seen any of them.
I
actually,
picked the
but-
name based off of a Mission Impossible episode from the old TV show.
Oh,
good
nice
That's so
one.
cool.
I made up the plot though.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
And Fallout was the one that came out this summer, and I actually saw it. It was very good. I might
Nice.
add.
Nice.
So
Oh, okay.
Clay, you
So
want to take it?
so this is now Scooby Doo movies. As you know, there's a lot of straight to video Scooby Doo movies that they
Animated.
release. Animated ones. I'm only gonna do this one. I don't have time for the last one. It's not. It's James Bond, but none of them are that good. So let's just do Scooby Doo. And then Billy, you can do your third one, but I'm just gonna end yours.
Oh, okay.
So the first one is Scooby Doo and the Gourmet Ghost. Scooby Doo and the gang head on vacation and spend the weekend at the Rock Harbor Resort with Fred's uncle, world-class chef Bobby Flay. Scooby and Shaggy are thrilled to eat as much five-star food as they can until they encounter the Red Ghost, a mysterious entity determined to shut down the resort. The gang navigates the world of celebrity chefs while trying to stop the food-loving phantom at his own game. Next is Scooby-Doo Shaggy Showdown. Scooby-Doo and the gang head down to the Crazy Q Dude Ranch, owned by Shaggy's cowgirl cousin. The gang dresses up in Western attire and prepares to enjoy a little bit of the frontier before they run into the sinister ghost of Shaggy's gunslinging ancestor, Dapper Jack. Next is Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo and WWE, The Curse of the Speed Demon. Scooby-Doo and the gang hang out with their friends from the WWE at the Scooby-Doo at the Muscle Moto X Off-Road Challenge. However, when a demonic racer named Inferno appears, Shaggy and Scooby take up the monster truck monikers as Skinny Man and Dead Meat as they go to head with the monster truck with the monster in their truck, the Scoobinator. Last is Scooby-Doo and the Hip Hop Hobgoblin. Scooby-Doo and the gang head down to the Tri-City Hype Up Hip Hop Festival for Shaggy and Scooby to see their favorite rapper Ice Cube perform. However, things take a turn when Ice Cube asks for their help in solving the mystery of Rhyme Freak, the Hobgoblin, a mysterious creature that has been sabotaging his shows and claims to be the ghost of the deceased rapper Fresh Rhymes. As the gang goes head-to-head with the Hobgoblin, Scooby is entered into the festival as a performer. What else could possibly go wrong?
Man,
Wow.
those are all
That's-
very
that
crazy.
So go over the titles: Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghost, Scooby-Doo Shaggy Showdown, Scooby-Doo and WWE, The Curse of the Speed Demon, and Scooby-Doo and the Hip Hop Hobgoblin.
So I feel like I've heard of the WWE thing.
I've
Maybe
heard of
I'm
that
wrong,
one.
but
No,
it
no.
sounds familiar.
I
I'd
do know
agree.
Scooby-Doo teams up with a lot of different things.
I also
Yeah.
think the Ice Cube I think that one makes sense too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that one before, but I don't know about the
What is it? So it's Gourmet
Gourmet
Ghost and
Gourmet
Shaggy
Ghost.
Showdown?
Gourmet
And
Ghost
I-
with Bobby Flay and Shaggy Showdown with the Crazy Q Dude Ranch and Dapper Jack.
I think Shaggy Showdown.
It's
I,
fake.
I feel
Might
like
be
I've heard
fake.
of that though. Maybe
Really?
I'm-
Shaggy
maybe there was
Have
some
you heard of-
cowboy themed one, but I don't know. It could have been something
Have
totally
you heard
different.
of the only other one that I haven't heard of is Gourmet?
I haven't heard of
Ghost.
that either.
I haven't heard of that. It sounds like an episode.
Oh,
but,
totally.
But I
Yeah.
feel like I would have watched it.
These are all full-length movies, not episodes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then I'm pretty sure Gourmet Gourmet
Ghost.
I might go for that too. Yeah.
You think it's fake? That one sounded the most real to me. All the other ones are like crazy. No?
Maybe the
Oh yeah, they are crazy, but
maybe the hip hop, but like
yeah, the hip hop. But I feel like Ice
WWE
Cube does a lot of stuff.
All
like
right,
that.
I'll defer. I'll say Gourmet Ghost too, just so we have a consensus.
All right, the Gourmet Ghost is real. They're all real
Oh.
except for the Hip Hop Ghost.
Oh,
dang it.
shoot.
I think Ice Cube because like, are we there yet? All these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good guess, guys. You guys were definitely on one, close to
On
it with
one.
the
You're definitely on.
no, with the ghost with Ice Cube. All right, Billy, are you going to do your last one, or do we have time? Or?
I don't think. Well, so we have like 3 minutes left, and we have tons of listener questions.
Ooh.
I feel like we need to respect.
Should we not do?
I feel like we need to respect our listeners.
Yeah,
Save it for
yeah.
next.
Let's respect the listeners on
Yes,
this one.
yes. Save it for the ride home.
So-
We're gonna ride home and tweet about it.
Let's just go ahead and if you're I'm sorry, Billy, but
Oh, yeah,
do you
no.
think that makes sense?
Yeah, no, I had Airbud and Clay had James Bond, but I
Yes.
feel like it's gonna take way too much time.
Maybe we can save that for the beginning of next week.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just run through rapid fire
So
listener
first,
questions.
Sally-
And thank you
asked-
for sending them.
Yes, thank you so much for saying it. First, Sally asks, "Why do I love going to the movies so much more than watching at home? Because it's more fun. and
The
you get popcorn
experience.
and a
Oh,
Coke.
it's
It's the experience
experience,
and the
yeah.
people you're with.
Experience, people with, and the food. Also,
Yeah, the nostalgia too.
Yeah.
Sally's my
So
mom. I know
true.
she gets food in the movie theater. So, Braden asks, "What are your breakfast strategies? Any early morning hacks? I usually don't eat breakfast.
Oh, omelet.
Omelets?
Pretty much what I do is
it's
3 eggs. You throw them in, get some onions or some
Oh,
mushrooms,
yeah.
Sounds
That's
good.
a good
a
one.
little bit of cheese, flip it over, a little bit of salt and pepper at the end, and you're good to go. Takes like
I've
4
been
minutes.
I've been doing oatmeal recently, but that's not even breakfast time. I eat it at like 12. so-
Yeah. Over the summer, I started just bringing Cliff Bars to the office with me, so I could save
Ooh.
a few minutes of eating at home, and I would like eat while I would check
Great
my
idea.
emails in the morning.
Great idea.
I would sometimes
That
bring
worked
food
out
on the
really
train
well.
to
Yeah.
commute too.
Ohm asks, "What are you looking for in your senior year?" I'm not looking forward to anything. I don't want to graduate. It's so
Me
sad.
neither.
That's true. That's true.
I am looking forward to hanging out with everybody. though.
I am looking
Yeah.
at
Yes, yeah.
but-
IU basketball.
IU basketball is okay. That's what I'm looking
Chilling
forward to
out.
most. Is IU basketball with the
Yeah,
with these.
it's gonna be a
crazy
good
guys.
year.
Max said, "I tried to rush IU DM FTK, but I couldn't find their house on campus. What should I do?"
They're very exclusive.
Yes, call your senator, call your local representative, and ask them
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
Your
and
house
you
is
might find
hidden.
them somewhere in October, during
Yes.
October.
Ooh.
You might find them somewhere up your button around the corner. I have an idea. Let's do one more, and then we can do the rest of these next
Yeah.
episode, and we don't have to ask for questions next episode.
Okay.
Or let's see how much more we can do. What's the difference between muffins and cupcakes? Muffins are way better. That's the difference.
Also, cupcakes have icing.
They
I
have
think.
too much icing.
Yeah.
Muffins
Muffins
are
are breakfast. Cupcakes are dessert.
good.
And then Braden asked follow up. Sorry, William asked that. My bad. Follow up. Are muffins cakes? Yes, definitely.
Really?
They're basically just cakes.
Yeah, it's
They
a,
taste
it's,
like
it's a
cake.
cakey bread.
A chocolate muffin.
It's a cakey bread.
A chocolate
Yeah.
muffin is like a chocolate cake.
It's kind of like
Cake
a little
without
cake.
icing.
That's why I love them. Yes.
Yeah.
Kate asks, "Is a hot dog a sandwich?" No,
I think it is, but
Yes,
let's not dwell on it.
technically, but no.
no.
Yes.
The consensus is no. Kate asks,
Ah,
"When will
God.
my husband return from the war?" Say up your button around the corner.
Oh,
I'm
zing!
joking. That's just the first thing that came to my head.
Probably in like 10 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, probably like last week. Is pizza a sandwich? No.
No.
Yes and no, in
No.
my opinion.
Kyle said, "Is Clay is
I'll
my
get
mom?"
into it later.
Kyle said, "Clay is my mom." Yes,
I'll agree.
I'll agree with that.
We
Not
agree.
Sally.
Yep.
Duncan said, "Favorite meme of the summer?" I have to go with the meme of Colin Kaepernick. This isn't August, so it counts.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick doing the Nike thing. People keep putting the fake people in and putting the quotes up.
That's
I
a
do
good
like
one.
that one.
Of
That is
course,
a good
Ligma
one.
was pretty good.
Ligma was also good.
The Yanny Laurel thing, not exactly
Oh.
a meme, but that was a big thing at
That
the beginning
was.
of the summer. I don't know. What did you guys hear?
I heard Yanny.
I could switch back and forth actually.
No, I heard specifically Yammy with M's.
Oh,
every single
interesting.
time.
I could like make myself switch back and forth, which was
Really?
kind of cool. But yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. Okay. Last two.
What are your opinions on who's the best chef?
By
Sergey.
Boys Calling Hour fan club.
I have to go.
It's
With,
Camille.
I have to go with Fred's
Bobby Flay?
Uncle Bobby Flay.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm going with Sergey.
Oh,
Listen to Boys Calling Hour at work.
Yes.
Always.
Make
Yes.
everyone else, make your coworkers watch or
Yeah,
listen.
play it over the intercom.
Yeah, come on.
Any options if you shouldn't listen at work though? She asks.
You should listen to your booty.
No, just listen
Your
to
butt.
it. All we're saying is listen to it. If you want.
Goodness.
Sorry. You can't force
Yeah.
people to
Or
listen.
just sneak it
All right.
with Apple AirPods or
Well,
whatever.
we got through all the questions, which is amazing. And sorry we rushed at the end, but it's kind of fun to do the rapid fire ones.
Yeah.
And
We got a lot for the first
yes, we got a
Yeah.
lot. Thanks so much for listening, and we can't wait to be back here
Yeah.
next week.
We had a fun time. We hope you do too.
Same time,
Yeah.
same channel.
Have sweet dreams and good night.
Good night.
Good night.